Hi everyone, this right here is a 2005 Chevrolet Forester and I'm going to review it. So before we get on with the review, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we have loads of interesting content coming and you'll be notified whenever we make a new upload. Anyways, I'm Shyam Anand and this is Hyper Automobiles. Now starting off the review by talking about the design of the 2005 Chevrolet Forester, you can see that first of all it's been rebadged, this very vehicle, to the Subaru Forester, which is very interesting to see. And it came to India only as a Chevy Forester, not as Subaru, because Subaru was never there in India. The good thing about these old cars, is there's no fakery, absolutely no fakery. You can see the radiator over there, even the vents beneath are very real. The headlamps are halogens completely, and just beneath them you have these huge fog lamps. And the part that's very highlighted in the front is the bumper. The bumper stands out and it looks very nice. Coming to the bonnet has been shaped very well, very minimalist, again goes with the car, I guess. And it's a sleeper car according to me. And coming to the sides, you get 15s all around the wheels, and the alloys, they just look pure rugged off-roading. They look beautiful for this car, honestly. You get 15s all around, you get discs in the front and drums in the back. You get the indicator over here, not in the mirrors, too old for that, it's fine. And then over here you get body colored door handles, and the window area is huge, to be honest. Huge, so huge. And you can see this as AWD as standard, and you can also see Forester written over here, bold, and it's written 2.0 because it's a 2-liter engine, obviously. And then over here again to the back, you see that the bumper is highlighted just like the front. It just stands out so much and it looks very good. In tail lamps you get all halogens, no LEDs, which is perfect for the time. And the rear windshield, to be honest, is huge. Now that's about the design. Let's get on to the interior of the car. Now, coming to the interior of the 2005 Chevy Forester, first thing you notice is the steering wheel says Chevy. So yeah, it came to India as a Chevy. And you see the steering wheel, there is literally no steering mounted controls, not even for the radio, which I guess is fine for the time. You get stocks for the wipers and stocks for the light over here. And you get the speedometer, rev counter / tachometer, and the engine temperature gauge and the fuel gauge, all analog, which is quite informative. And coming to the general layout of the dash, I must say that a lot of soft touch materials, and you have this kind of texture going on so that your eye does not get bored of seeing the same black plastic, which is good, which is really good. And your small digital display for your time, which is, yeah, again, not unique, but it's interesting to see these things in, after new cars have come. And then you see airbags over here, which are needed, of course needed. And then coming to the central infotainment system, yeah, it's outdated, you have to say it, but you have AC vents over here and hazard lamps over here, and you have this radio with a lot of buttons, and you have the toggles for the climate controls for your fan speed and all. And then over here you have a little bit of storage, which is, yeah, good, and a 12-volt socket to charge your phone maybe. And then over here you have a 5-speed manual transmission, which was the only transmission and came standard on the car. And over here, because it's an AWD, you can switch to high or low range mode. That's awesome. And over here you have your handbrake and a cup holder. And talking about storage, coming to the storage and practicality of the front, you have a glove box over here, and the glove box is huge, believe me. These SUVs, old, new, all SUVs have huge glove boxes. And then over there don't have door bins, you have door nets, and those door nets are kind of fairly good, I guess. You can't fit a lot of these 1-liter bottles, it's fine, but you can fit a lot of these paperwork, tissues and all. Same thing with the driver's side, which is, yeah, fine. And then coming to the passenger seat offers a vanity mirror. Same thing with the driver's seat, which is good, fair enough. And then over here you have 2 sunglass holders, one small and one big, I guess. Yeah, okay. And then we have 2 lights, 2 reading lights, which is good. And yeah, that's about the front. Let's get on to the rear seats. Now, getting into the rear seats is fairly easy, and once you get in, you notice that the seating position is way too low for an SUV. It feels very different, but the space has not been compromised, that I can guarantee, because you have loads of headroom, loads of knee room, and loads of leg room. Only thing, if you're a bit too tall, space won't be a problem, but your under thigh support may get a little bit poor. But I think that's fine. That's just a minor problem. You will manage it. There's no problem with it. You can just manage for long journeys very easily. Now, can you seat a third person in the middle? So, seating a third person, yeah, the headroom is great. knee room's good, leg room's poor. So yeah, you can seat a third person, but it has to be a child or someone. If you're seeing a child over here, sure, it's a 5-seater. And coming to the storage and practicality of the back, you have airplane kind of nets over here. They hold very less and they're not very elastic, which is kind of disappointing. Same thing over here, they hold very less, and you don't have any door bins of any sort. And same thing over here, you get grab handles, you get a reading light over here. Same thing for the over there for the boot, which is good, and it's very minimalistic, to be honest. And even the seating position, just a little bit too upright, just a little bit. Could have been reclined a little more towards the back, but other than that, it's just a very comfortable place to be in. Space is not an issue for sure. Even the window area is large, kids will enjoy it. And yeah, that's about the rear seats. Let's get on with the boot of the car. Now coming to the boot of the Forester, you can see here I've folded the rear seats. The rear seats are a 60-40 split, the 60 and the 40. And then to remove the parcel tray, you just have to push this, which is a very good mechanism, and it's self-retractable. Now what you have here is a fairly flat floor, and to be honest, it's completely flat, which is very good. You have a little bit of storage over here and here. So what you get here is 500 liters of boot space, and believe me, that's a very healthy number for this car. It's huge, to be honest. Yeah, it's huge. You can fit a lot of things over here, and as a plus point to that, you have the loading lift, which is very low, so you can just load things very easily. And you can just push it through to the back seats. That's very nice. That's about the boot. Let's get on with the chassis and suspension of the car. Now coming to the chassis and suspension of the Forester, so at the front you get a McPherson strut type independent coil spring with stabilizer bar, and at the rear you get a dual link type independent coil spring with stabilizer bar. Now let's get on with the engine of the car. Now coming to the engine of the Forester, first thing you notice is there's a lot of insulation under the bonnet. I think it's needed, and it's a huge engine bay, to be honest. And what do you get here? So you get a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-end petrol engine, which produces 120 horsepower and 180 newton meters of torque, which is, I think, a healthy number, but it would have been a little more healthier, if they had bumped the power a little bit. I just wish that it just produced a little more power, maybe 130 horsepower at least. Because it's such a heavy car and it's such a huge car, so I just wish that it just produced a little more power and torque, but I think it's fine, completely fine. That's about the engine. Let's get on to the final verdict of the car. Now coming to the final verdict of the car, what do I think of the Forester? So Forester was never a part of Chevrolet's lineup of cars. It was always a part of Subaru's lineup of cars, that is the Japanese manufacturing company, as you know. So Subaru never made it to India, and therefore Chevrolet decided to rebadge the Forester just for India. So basically inside India it's known as the Chevrolet Forester, but when you go outside India it's known as the Subaru Forester, and Subaru Forester is basically the real one, I guess. But this one also just been rebadged. It's basically the whole Subaru Forester package except the rebadging thing, so it just has a Chevrolet badge in it. Other than that, it's pretty much the Subaru Forester, which is good. And what do we think of this car? So I personally think that it's a sleeper car in my opinion, because it may look a little dull, yes, I have to agree, but it's a sleeper because it can do wonders. It has a lot of off-roading potential. It gets all-wheel drive as standard. Its reliability, because its heart is Subaru, Japanese, its reliability is minimum. Lifespan of this very car is 17 to 18 years. If you maintain it well, it can go easily 20 plus years, and that's what you want out of a car. You want the reliability, you want it to be long-lasting, and this thing serves it very well. It can also go fast. As I said, it's a sleeper in my opinion. Now, if you're in India and you're planning to buy a second-hand Forester, I would say that obviously it's very hard to get one. It's very rare to find one in a good condition. But if you're planning to buy one, I would say that you could go ahead and buy it, obviously. Only thing, if you want it as a collector's vehicle, because that's what this is right now, and I would say that it's just not feasible for daily driving, because India is also bringing that 15-year rule and all those things. So if you want as a collector's vehicle, of course you can just go right ahead and buy it, no problem with that. But it's long lasting, as I've said before, so you won't have any worries with it. Low maintenance. Only thing, the spares, you don't get it anymore. That's one big disadvantage, the spares. But other than that, beautiful car it is. And that's what we think about the car. Let us know what you think about the car in the comments below. As always, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, because we have loads of interesting content coming, and you'll be notified whenever we make a new upload. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.